Hey everyone, Stubbsilla here, and this will be episode 2 of the Detroit Red Wings NHL 15 Be a GM on Next Gen. So I found this trade. Ericsson's going. Bye bye. Basically, with this trade, I'm justifying it in the sense that Eriksson is this year just a shade better than Trouba. And we're throwing in the second and the third to cover the fact that they're losing a prospect. But we are taking 2/4 back from them just to even it out a little bit. You can see from the trade value, we're kind of almost double. So we are overpaying according to the game, but I think in real life there's some justification for this as well in terms of us giving them the picks. This was going to be done with just the second round pick for Winnipeg's 2016 fourth, but I felt bad. So I chucked in a third for their fourth this year as well. So yeah, we are overpaying, but yeah, okay. Whatever. That makes us slightly worse, but just not even by any sort of shouting. Like, there's no sort of real shouting about how much worse that weight makes us, because I think it's an 83 to an 84 or something like that. So, yeah, it's not a particularly bad trade for us by any stretch. But we're gonna do some scouting here, and where am I going? Am I going in Liga or the SHL? Let's go in the SHL. And right, okay, so just a little breakdown of how I do the scouting. I think I went over this a little bit in the Washington, but hopefully I can get some more people watching this, and just going to give a little breakdown as to how I do the scouting. You can see that I'm going to start with forwards. Now, I do 1 week for every 3 prospects. I always sort of go over by 1 as well. So, for instance, if I was scouting forwards now, 3 weeks per, like 3 prospects per week, essentially, is what you can basically get through, I think, whilst getting a large amount of information on them, so that you know pretty much everything about them before you go into the draft. So with this, we've got 8 forwards, so it'll be 3 weeks. So 3 weeks to cover it up to 9. That basically rounds it up. For defensemen, it would be 5. For the goalie, it would just be the 1 week, because there's only 1 prospect there. If you really want to a later date, you can basically go back over them again. I usually find that it's probably better to do it then for about 2 weeks. Say, for instance, on the forwards, you can just basically take it down by a week and then just sort of mop up any information that you don't know on any of the prospects, or you can go full out and just do another full 5 week on them. But I think it's important to take a region and to stick with it, or to take a couple of regions and just stick with them. It just seems to be the way that it works. I don't know the science behind it or anything like that, but you generally, once you know, then you know who you identify, and you can stick them to your board and whatever, and hopefully no one else is looking at them. But hey ho, that's the draft, isn't it? But yeah, it's usually a good way. I usually try and stay up in the SHL and in Liga. I don't know why that seems to work for me, but they seem to have a couple of guys that can go for either NHL starting or elite potential for goaltenders, or top 6, top 4s for defensemen and for forwards. And they generally go in the later rounds as well. You'll generally find that they go in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round. America's got a couple of prospects like that as well that will generally be quite high potential but go in the 3rd. So the US, Liga, and the SHL are generally sort of good hunting grounds for sort of unearthing prospects for the later rounds. The higher rounds, I've not really sort of cottoned on to that yet, how to get around that, because obviously for the higher rounds you want to be looking in places like Canada, stuff like that. But yeah, Canada for me is just for the amount of weeks that you get, it's just too vast. There's too many prospects in areas where they're broken down as well. So it just seems like it's just far too vast of an area to get any sort of real decent handle on a lot of prospects at any one time. Whereas I like sort of working in these more these with the smaller margins, Russia, Liga, and the SHL. That's just me, but we'll see if it works throughout the season. It has done for a lot of GMOs that I've just been playing through thus far. So yeah, we'll go with it for now. In the meantime, we need to sort out our lines after the Trouba trade. It's pretty much going to be as you were, really. But let's just go down here, edit lines, and I'll keep that off. And options, best lines. Okay, you've probably done it anyway, but it's telling us that's a thing, and that's not a thing. Vice is going to be on the third line. Helm's going to be our second line center. That's just, for me, that's just obvious. And then Vice, Cole, and Abdelkader. That's good for the third line. And Anderson, Shahan, Miller for the fourth line, rounding it out. Vice, we may look to move at the trade deadline depending on what we are as a team, and then move Shahan up and possibly move someone else at center. I think there was one in Edmonton, Boyd Gordon, I really like the look of as a fourth line kind of guy, as a top fourth line kind of guy as well. Like, he's probably the best fourth line center you can possibly get. This is how we look elsewhere, and I'm thinking about moving Zidlicki down and bringing De Kaiser up, but I'm not entirely certain how that's going to work yet. I might just trade Smith and bring De Kaiser up. Again, I'm not sure, but De Kaiser can sit where he is for now. I'm going to trust that no, in fact, let's just look at this ourselves, actually. So it's saying Quincy for power play time along with Smith. I'm not sold on that. I want Trouba up there. So I'll take Quincy, but Trouba's going in most definitely. Just changing current line. So Trouba's a righty, and he'll get top line power play minutes along with Cronwall, Quincy, and Zidlicki can handle the other power play there. I want Helm instead of Vice as well here. There we go. Oh, that's good. And the power play, four-man power play, sorry, again. So let's just change all this now. And then Trouba, you get brought in here. And the penalty kill, yeah, I'm quite happy to leave it like that. Quincy's going to be playing top line with Cronwall, then just leave it like that. And then 3-man penalty kill. Yeah, just not playing about with it too much here. Starting lineups. Just want to check Trouba's on the right. He is. So that's the other good thing with Trouba as well, is that we brought in a righty. We just need one more now to round it out, but maybe Vice, maybe that could be a sacrifice for Vice there. I don't know, but we'll see. As it is, those are the lines, and in fact, yeah, let's just go over them one more time. Sorry. So on the top line, as you'd expect, Zetterberg, Datsuk, Nyquist. We could maybe do with a genuine first liner. I mean, Franzen, I'm not opposed to playing him there. Which kind of makes the second line look a bit tasty if it can improve just even the tiniest bit with Nyquist and Tatar. And third line is the third line, and the fourth line, yeah. You're just looking at sort of big bodies. Shahan, hopefully he can improve some this season. He can take over the third line next season. But yeah, so we're going to get into the sim engine now. Injuries are on, so if you hear me crying, then that's why. But yeah, let's go here. Let's go with calendar. And where are we at? Okay, we're at about 9 minutes now. So we'll do the first month, and then we'll sort of look into doing 20-minute episodes with more of the sim engine. But let's just get through the first month for now. Let's just simulate up to this date. Okay, so first game versus Boston at home. We've got a few games at home at first. Can we get a win? Can we get a win? Can we get a win? Oh. Yeah, 4-3. Okay, that's cool. God damn it. Oh, wow. Okay, so what do we do here? Wow, that's a real ass. Let's edit lines manually. Wow, okay. Roster, yeah, okay, let's go to roster moves. Let's see if we can bring up. I think we might even actually be in a position where we can bring up the Kaiser and have him scratched. Is that an option? Or is it better to leave him there and then possibly have a guy like Lashov? Maybe. No, let's bring up the Kaiser. It's the easiest thing to do. So defense. Kaiser, dress him. Oh, God. Yeah, and then just go best lines from there. That's a ball ache. And I got to do all that with Truber on the way back when he comes back. Against Anaheim now, this could be interesting. First Western Conference team. And we get a win there as well. Wow, okay. Oh, God damn it, Truber. You make up your mind. Be fit, be not, but, you know. Just go best lines. It's probably the easiest thing to do. Best lines, it was probably going to scratch the Kaiser anyway. So, nothing lost, nothing gained there. Might lose him on the power play, actually, which doesn't make a difference. We start 3-0. Wow, okay, this is good. It's a good start. And now we've got back-to-back against the Leafs. Original 6 games. And we lose 5-2. Okay. Toronto didn't have a fantastically strong start either. But we get a win. We make it up. That's good. Okay, so 4-1 start. And... oh, you're done. Oh, okay. So I'll edit that. And now, so we go defenseman, and we'll go 5 weeks. Confirm that. Carry on. Montreal. Can we figure out Carey Price? It's taking its time. It's really taking its time. No, we lose 2-1. That's the regulation loss as well. That's not good. Against Pittsburgh. Can we bounce back quickly? Nope. Okay, that's another regulation loss. Okay, so it started out so very well, but, you know, early season, you can't really tell too much. Wow, that's a really good win against Philly. Quincy's injured. We'll just go best lines. I imagine I'll just move Truber up and then Zidlicki up and then the Kaiser up as well. It's a really good win against Philly. Wow, okay. We get to check the stats at the end of the month as well, so that'll be good. Washington. God damn you, Quincy. And at least he's back. So 2 5-3 teams go at it here, and who's going to come out on top? Can we keep Ovi out? Oh, that's another huge win. That's a huge win against Washington, and an overtime loss against LA. So LA started, LA started in a big way. I think they were, like 10-1 now, something like that. If I can just, they're not on this month, though. But they're 10-1, I think, after beating us. But that's a huge win against Washington. So let's just go check our stats now. And then we can leave it there. Florida are out to an 8-0 start. Wow, okay. Whatever you say, Sim Engine. Not going to disagree for now. Lee, no. See, I always lose it. Where stats? Oh, God. I was looking right at it as well. I always lose it. Okay. Player stats. I just gave it away. Apparently, there's no data to display it this time. How about now? Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's just check forwards for now. Alright, so Zetterberg, Nyquist. Zetterberg, 22 points, 10 games played. He's out to an absolute blistering start. 16 assists, 6 goals. It's looking good for Zetterberg. Looking very good. Nyquist, 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points. Datsuk, point a game, Vice's point a game at this point as well. I think it must be our power play. It's the only thing I can think of. Obviously, when we went to best lines, we must be absolutely hurting teams on the power play. Tatar, 5 goals, 8 points. Franzen, 6 points, 4 goals. Abdelkader. So everyone seems to be chipping in. Let's look at the defenseman. Cromwell, 8 points. Zidlicki, 8 points. Yeah, so it's the power play. It's definitely the power play where we're stepping up here. Truba, only 2 points in 9 games, but he's not on the power play. So, yeah, nothing to be ashamed of there. Can go back in and change all of that. Let's just check the goaltenders quickly. Mrazek. I don't know what that is. He's played a game and he's got 1,000. He's got 100% save percentage. So, good job. Howard, 2.54 goals against average and a 9.919 save percent. Yeah, he's doing good. Everyone seems to be doing good. It's an alright stat. It's an alright stat. I'm not going to complain about it. Is it too late to check? Is it too early to check the standings? I think it's too early to check the standings. It's not really going to tell us much, I don't think. We could try and check team stats, just so we're covering everything. Which just is the standings, isn't it? Power play percentage, here we go. So 26% on the power play. Toronto are out there with 30% at the moment. Power play goals against 7, so we're doing 82% on the penalty kill, which seems low. Toronto are killing it on the power play, and they're killing it on the penalty kill with a 7th in the standings. I'll never know this sim engine. I'll never know. We're doing okay. Well, we're doing good at home. Away, not so great. But, 6-3-1, 13-point start, 10 games played. Florida are out to an absolute demon start. But what can you do? That's a sim engine for you. But we've got a couple of games on the Bruins, who are nearest to us in our division. But, yeah, that'll be... We'll just keep it for the Atlantic division for now. We'll go into a bit more depth as we go through the season. But that's it for now, guys. Good start, good trade, and I will catch you guys in episode 3. Cheers, guys.